Yes. Listen, I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know if I'm uploading this on YouTube. I don't know if I'm gonna chop it down and just put it up on my personal Instagram. I don't know, right? But I'm sitting here with this is like what my 500th take. I don't know. I'm exaggerating here, but just to come and try and see how it is to record again with I'm trying not to do it with a broken mic, but this time I just want it to be authentically, of course people do YouTube, it's like, you cut it down, you make it nice so you can gauge people and stuff like that. Listen, I'm tired, man. It's been a minute. I had my newborn on the 1st of June. um so he's what, 7 weeks, 8 weeks old now. um which has been really nice, really happy. I'm really grateful. um I started my second year of my counseling course as well, which I'll talk about in a second. And I moved into my new gaff. But however, something that's been pulling me away that I'm not, may be the reason why I haven't done YouTube for a while or haven't had that for what actually one reason. My hard drive broke. I don't know how it broke, but it's not working. Every time you put it in, pause, um, it just clicks, click, 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 and that's not a good sign. So you need a lot of money. Well, money, yeah. Well, you need money to fix it. Even with the basics, I know if you broke your hard drive and you really want to extract the data that's from there, you can go to a specialist, which is a lot of money. But you can get, find some local people to do it for you, and you need money for that. And guess what? I don't have that. Well, I have money, but I don't have money to spend on that because guess what, guys? I've been jobless since April. Guys, I've been hit by the market. And no, the language around, there's no jobs in the UK and there's not enough work, or people are not getting paid, or people are getting paid but it's not toast, it's not working out alongside the cost of living. And I've been hearing that rhetoric, and listen, I've been involved in this little politics and news and stuff like that recently. Listen to Gareth Stevenson, he's been everywhere on my algorithm as well. Listening to TDR News, I just see that we've got a new Prime Minister, Andy Berman as well. Keir Starmer is out, England are out of the World Cup. Voila. And listen, England was never going to win the World Cup. I'll just put it out there. Um, and it's a shame. It's always going to be a shame, but it's the same rhetoric that we say all the time. So you can watch other football content to talk about that. But I'm talking about me. This is just more of like a personal, off the dome sort of type of video, because and I just want to see how it feels to sit in a chair and just record again, because I've lost this. What's happened with the job market? I'm gonna talk from a personal standpoint. Listen, I'm a guy is saying that it's not that I don't want to work, guys. It's not saying that I have a massive privilege that I can afford myself not to work. No, I I just generally can't. I've been applying. I've been applying for jobs. So just to quickly run down, I worked in a school as a one-to-one TA, and my kid left, that I was working with to a different school that was best able to facilitate his needs and so forth. School didn't need me anymore. No problemo. I work in a school around locally, right? So I was like, cool. And then I moved house. And then my DBS ran out, which I thought that I still had my DBS, but what is it? They said after 2 years you have to repay it again, because you have it on the update service. I thought it was already, and I thought I already paid for the update service. The man's telling me I have to do it again. I was like, alright, cool, whatever. So I spoke to my agency, so I had to do another DBS. So like, yeah, but we've changed our processes on how we've done our DBS. I'm like, okay, no problem. And especially because I moved house, I had to change my driver license. I had to be on another document of a utility bill, so it's part of like it just got long. It was just such a long process back and forth and whatnot, which delayed a lot of time. At the same time, I was already looking for a job anyway, so I've been looking for the job since the start of the year. So because I knew that working in a school already works in term time, I needed something much more concrete. And a lot of the times as well, people, alongside, if you may or may not know, I am studying to be a psychotherapist. So studying a psychotherapist also includes a lot of your time, supervision, personal therapy, placement. And on top of that, I was doing two placements. So there's two placements alongside extra supervision. On top of that, extra team trainings on top of that. And of course, one of them fell short of one of my placements, which meant that just recently I just finished with that placement because it was just getting too much. But then again, I was looking for a job that I can, be more flexible. But I was looking for a contract job. But then I was thinking I like the agency because it gives me the flexibility. So I'm in an RO, but I was applying for anything. Listen, I'm a very sort of laid back guy. Sometimes too laid back, my missus may say. And I was saying to myself, right, listen, I say, one quick apply, indeed, one of that. But this time around, I said, nah, start of the year, let's have different versions of CV. So, of course, obviously, I'm trained to be a psychotherapist. I'm looking for those sort of jobs, like as a peer support worker and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm tailored my CV for NHS work. I'm tailoring my CV for youth work. I'm tailoring my CV, and obviously, I've also worked in hospitality. So, I've been a barista and I've been a waiter. So, I've been tailoring my stuff like that, considering that I will still have time to do my course. For example, I have weekend classes with my course. I have supervision as well in the evening. So, for example, I am also limited, but I'm always saying there should be jobs out there. There should be jobs. I've always said, I know they talk about this rhetoric and there's no jobs out there, but sometimes I feel like that's just the language of the UK. We are Debbie Downers as well. So I thought, let me be the difference and say, there is jobs out there. There are things that you can find. Fuck me, was I wrong, man? Fuck me, was I wrong? Guys, I've only had one interview and actually, all the interviews that I've had has been from my work coach. So I went on the universal credit system. You have to do the work coach thing. I'd done a 2 week volunteering aviation course to learn about fucking airlines, which was fascinating. It was a nice group of people, just for me to get an interview, guys. It wasn't for me just to get a job. It was just for me to get an interview. I'd done a 2 week at John Ruskin College, a 2 week course, guys, for me to get an interview, not a guaranteed job, to get an interview. Did an interview, and here I am, still waiting. I got the job. I have the job. Like I'll be working in an airport. I'm not going to specify what airport, but I'll be working in an airport, and there, right, I'm still waiting. I know people say it's a long process and stuff like that. And then after, I was like, okay, I've been waiting for so long. I went to see my work coach, bro. Like, she gave me a list of jobs. I saw a cleaner. I said, yeah. I said, what? For the hustle now, for what I'm in now, I'll take a cleaning job. Beggars can't be choosers. What's that? Is that the classic saying? Beggars can't be choosers. And do you know what it is? People say, oh, you do it for the family, do it for the kids. I'm doing it for myself, for my own sanity, because as much as I got my kids, as much as I got my family, and as much as I got people that best well supported me, and I'm very grateful. It's not saying that I'm not grateful. I've been telling you, I've been so unmotivated for everything apart from my work that I do. Apart from literally, if it wasn't for me doing the course that I do for like therapy, like apart from the work that I do for it, because listen, I've already been volunteering for that. You don't get paid for that. Yeah, for people that I just tell you now as well, I don't get paid for the hours that I do seeing clients. But for the love of the game, for the love of that I have for the profession, that will always give me a willpower. I always will turn up to when it comes to seeing my clients or supervision, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Showing my best version of myself as a practitioner. And and because there's a framework that's operated, but when apart from that, see like my YouTube videos, there's Debbie Downers. I haven't been depressed. I wouldn't say I've been depressed. No, that's just I've been having low moods of people, man, where you just can't be asked, like because the job thing, for example. I want to watch Odyssey. Like right now, I would even be doing this video if I was getting paid right now and I wasn't working. I would have went right now and watched Odyssey, bro. It would have probably been my second viewing, but I can't do that. And listen, I've got friends that can pay for me. I do. But I'm prioritizing Spider Man over Odyssey. And I was like, I know I'm gonna wait Odyssey soon. I'm just buying my time. But with Spider Man, I'd rather go all out because that's Spider Man. You feel me? But at the same time, people, I know that I like in my personal life, I've been stressed at home. I've been lashing out. Do you know what I mean? And Mrs. has to sit me down and tell me, right, yo, bro, like it's okay, it's true. I know you're upset about this whole job market thing. And as a man, I'm gonna say, as a man, I feel like we're practical workers. We want to do something. Guys, I used to believe that I was gonna be a stay-at-home dad. I thought I was going to be a stay-at-home dad. I cannot be a stay-at-home dad. It's not like because my kids rile me up, or it's not my kids like it's long to have my kids, or I don't want to be around my kids. It's not about that. I'm always around my kids, even if I'm working. When I was working, I'm more a majority of the time I'm with my kids, so I'm always going to be there. It's not about dividing time. It's just about going out to do something. It's just doing something. doing something, knowing that you've been to work, and taking that accountability as a man. Terry Crews' character and Everybody Hates Chris. We used to laugh at him, and yes, he had two jobs, and I know he was like almost slaving away just to feed his family. But we don't live in those times. But the idea of a working man, it's good for a man to go to work. It feels important. It feels necessary. It feels a sense of a noble. Like I feel proud when I go to work. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, like because I know I get to come back to see my kids, and it's a different sort of appreciation. It's a different source of hustle that makes you go, okay, I hustle with my kids and whatnot. And I've been here with my kids. But when you go to work and you feel like, okay, I've done done a good hours of work and coming back home, that's cool. I think it's needed. And shout out to the stay-at-home dads, by the way, right? If you're a stay-at-home dad and you can afford that and you can do that, big up you guys one time. But for me, I was like, raw. And I used to think, because I'm a chill guy. I like to stay at home. I like the comfort of my house, especially having my new gaff now. I'm like, bro, I'm happy to be at a yard. I said, nah, man. I've missed going to work. It's not bad, and the thing is, it's not about work, because I know also which helps me a lot is that I know that I'm working for something. So I'm working, just to facilitate the time that I'm studying for my course. And once I finish my course, of course, I can apply for the jobs as a psychotherapist or whatnot, which I'm looking forward to. But at the same time, here, I'm thinking about what happened to the guys that don't actually have something like that and not finding jobs. What happened to the women that don't have some sort of purpose, but they can't find a job as well? And then on top of that, what happened to the people that do have kids, but yet don't have purpose, and they're looking for jobs? Back in the days, you can probably drop your CV at a little JD, little Foot Locker, little Sainsbury's, do you know what I mean? Little M&S. In Costa, guys, one day, I kid you not, I will drop my CV at Costa. She interviewed me on the spot. She interviewed me on the spot, guys. I dropped in Costa Greenwich, never forget it. Had it, went in, so hey, I'm looking for a job. This is my CV. She's like, I can do an interview right now. I said, yeah, bet. She's like, I remember it was like near winter time. She's like, any days you can't do it? I was like, oh, my birthday. So I think my birthday was the following week. She was like, I can't work on my birthday. She's like, yeah, come for a trial shift tomorrow, then we can pattern you up. It's like, boom, was that trial shift? Got my job. I look at my little young boys. I've got my three boys right now. As they get older, if I'm staying in this UK, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want my boys to get a little side hustle. Now, it seems like you can still get jobs, but it's people that you know. Oh, you know so and so. Oh, you know so and so. But your traditional way of going to a shop or even applying on Indeed. I've been applying, guys. I've been applying. And I haven't been getting an interview, to a point where I'm thinking to myself, are these jobs even real? Like, are these jobs really real? I remember I applied for the Breakfast Club, guys. I applied for a Breakfast Club. And do you know what Mr. said to Mr. Like, and this is the time where I was really trying to show, like, can you go above and beyond? I called them. I said, let me get a number. I called them. I said to the lady, hey, like, I applied for a job right now. It looks really good. I'm just want to put, I'm just calling just to put myself out there. We essentially, oh, that's really cool. I really like that. Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, cool. The CV that you emailed to is the job application that you applied for, that we don't have that email or something like that, so we're gonna give you a new email. I was like, I bet, no problem. And this, guys, I'm not saying that I got the job here. I'm just saying I just want to interview. I'm saying, cool. Alright, let me get she gave me the email. I said I sent her the CV straight away. Did not hear back from her. But you had the job, and guess what? Do you know what hurt me most? I think a couple months later, I went back on Indeed and applied for jobs. I saw the same job application on Indeed. I said, what? And listen, I'm not saying that I've got mad experience or anything like that, but look, I'm a guy that just wants to work. And people might talk, what's your experience? Forget that. People just want to work. People want to work to pay off their bills. People want to work because they want to enjoy themselves with that money. Listen, there was a guy that worked at Sainsbury's warehouse, one of the worst jobs I've done, right? It was another colleague. But listen, he worked, he said, listen, I use my money. I go home, I buy a couple cans, chill with the missus. My kids are grown. It's okay for me. I buy tickets, go to the Palace games. And I was like, yeah, that's calm. That's calm. But there's plenty of guys that I've met all across this way that have been jobless. And I've been jobless for a couple months. People are telling me they've been jobless for a year, 2 years. All right, cool. Maybe it's me. Like, maybe what I'm asking for my timeline of, okay, I'm juggling around my course as well, especially at hospitality. My boy works in hospitality at a private members club. He was saying to me, bro, like, you can't come and work here See that it's not that I'm flaky. It's just the fact that it's too inconsistent. They need you right there and there. If you're saying that you can't do that, bro, you're gone. All right, cool. I remember I was working somewhere and I was speaking to a girl that she was 18. She said she got a job because she got this job because she knows the lady, but she said she's been applying for jobs as well. Can't get nothing. I said, "Far, what's going on, guys? What's going on with?" And I was like, "What? I've been hit like this." Now, lucky, like I said, lucky that I got something to look forward to. But for the people that don't, what do they call it now? Neats. Not in employment, not in education, not in training. That's damning, guys, man. These are people as well that even have credentials. So I'm not even talking about the people that have the degrees. I'm not even talking about them because apparently they hit hard as well. The people that have degrees, they can't get a job. It's who you know now. It's like, what is this really it? So what is the point? Or it's like, what's happening here? I live local to Croydon. The Whitgift Centre closing down. No jobs. I wonder what it's like in Stratford because I know obviously now they got the Westfield. I worked at Stratford M&S to be fair. M&S good company to work for, by the way. Like I really enjoyed my time at M&S. Yes, I worked there, and there was a Starbucks opposite. There was a Pret a Manger opposite. There's a Virgin there's a not Virgin. There's a Vodafone. There's a EE. There's a JD. There's other shops. There's a was it, H and Samuels. So surely there's jobs there. So I wonder what it's like in certain areas and boroughs. Okay, so which areas have more or less jobs, more vacancy? I can imagine in South where you have Lewisham shopping centre. Some people are telling me that some places have been closed. I'm telling you now, yeah, like my boy's got a brand called Hips. So shout out to Hips. I'm telling you, bro. Why don't they just get a store, man? Why don't people have little money like why don't we get stores again? Why don't we just do the old school? Like, let's make like Lewisham Shopping Centre like what it used to be back in the days, bro. Let's make it decent enough. But I don't trust. What do you guys run up like? You guys out who do tomfoolery? Would you just run up the shop? If my brother done a little hips little store, are you guys running up in the shop? You don't want to do that. And then of course a man will say, no, I don't want to do that. But anyways, that's just me thinking off top of my dome. But I'm telling you guys, I've been hit hard, and I think like it it's brought down such a low mood because it feels like I can't do something. So I'm saying right now to my missus, it's like I can get a trim. So I have money to go and get a trim right now. So right now I can get a trim, but I can't maintain that because in 2 weeks later I'll be like, but I'll be looking flat. But I got my trim now. I feel good. You know what I mean? I feel that feel factor. I feel that feel good factor. Then after I feel like it's gonna get dropped down because it's like I know that I can't pay for my next trim because I know I'm not paying for a trim because that's not money that I should put towards to. So it's like, it's really like damning and really such a low mood for me because it's like, I just want a job. I can pay for the gym. I can go out and play football consistently. And it's not saying that I'm not treating that job really good, but bro, like I'm really trying. Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking now as well, like even the agency. So by the time I got my DBS for the school, bro, it's summertime now. My kids off school now. Now all and I had a call from and listen, I get calls a lot from these these places, these schools. Would you like for our agency? Blah 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 blah. So when do you guys start? September. Of course you guys are starting in September. I don't need that. I need something that I can just know that I'm working throughout the time that I know that I'm working until the point where I finish. I qualify as a psychotherapist, and then after I'm done, like I said, this is off the dome. This is not scripted. It's just me just relaying my thoughts, really, just sharing, I guess. But I think the job market, something has to change, man. I think it's so depressing. I think to a point where I feel as a nation, we're so numb to it that we just accept it. And I feel like I just don't can't because I feel how can my boys grow up in this sort of climate and feel like they can't even just get a job? It's only who you know that can get a job. And I'm pretty sure that I know the right people. If it meant to come, if my sons were like 16, 17, I feel like I can put them in the right direction of people. I work with so and so, or work with your uncle does that, or, uncle, so, auntie does this, so you can work with her. But at the same time, we, I think the rich needs to stop. You've made enough money. You corporate people, fuck off. Just fuck off. Really and truly, you've done what you needed to do, guys, man. You guys, there's enough money to go around, and that's the thing as well. Like, it's not about trying to be to make money. It's not like try to be rich. I think your average people is not trying to turn around and say, I want to try and make as much money as you, try to be rich as you can. The idea of being rich is not it. Privilege doesn't include money no more. Privilege is making sure that you have enough money to enjoy the time of with the privilege is the idea that you can spend enough time with your family as well as working. That's the privilege. Is just your health. A lot of these run clubs and a lot of these people that Gen Z is saying that they don't drink that much no more, which is a good thing. They're prioritizing their health and whatnot. All you guys that are making headlines, we always talk about these corporate places and these politics and stuff like this. Andy Berman is a tough gig to come in as a prime minister in the UK. You have to really give something to the UK to cling on to. But the fact that we have people on unemployment and young people, especially because these are our future. When I was working in a school, I used to think to myself, these guys are future doctors or lawyers or accountants or and so forth, people that we will need. But at the same time, what we've done right now, we've pushed a lot of doctors away. You're a doctor now. Some people go to Dubai, they go to other countries. They know that they can be a doctor and have a good work-life balance. Not in here, you can. Us workers are stressed. Us workers are not happy. The teachers are not happy. The teachers are understaffed. The schools are understaffed. Do something about it. And it's all glove. Sorry, glove, buff, whatever they call it. Like, these politicians come up and say the same rhetoric. We know that there's not much employment for the education, and we're gonna work, towards that and working towards the political government, and just that rhetoric that is played on so many times. If like history is a good way of indicating to tell you what is really happening for the future. And what let me tell you something now. Go back and watch all the politicians, right? To your Margaret Thatchers, to your um Gordon Browns and to your Tony Blairs, they all say the same thing, and we lap it up. We chase the high for it, and then when it's low, we're low, and we complain. And guess what? Now the rich us know that we will sit there and just complain among ourselves. The rat race is not even a rat race now. It's just a spinning wheel. We're just going round and round and round and round and round again. And you speak about this, you're just one out of the many people, or the many people that speak out of this. But you're at a stopgap. You can definitely see the hierarchies of certain things as well. That's why I say, for example, there's two worlds that I live in. There's the inner world and the outer world. A very Freudian term, right? But or psychodynamic term. The inner world is the world that you live in, your family and friends, your community that you live in, the people that you interact with in a day-to-day basis within your remit. The outer world, the politics, the World Cup, or those are the things that almost out of your control. There's such a separation. And in my inner world, I do the best that I can to make sure that I can help not only the community but the world. You sit down here doing YouTube videos because, like, this video might get 3 views today. In 20 years time or 10 years time, this video blows up to be like, well, it's not that Welcome said it or anything like that, but this is something that you can bring out to talk about the sort of extent of what's happening in our sort of climate, that people will turn around and say, yeah, we can't be in this sort of position again. And that changes a lot of things. But at the same time, in my inner world, I'm training to be a psychotherapist, and the people that I've supported and helped, and people that supported me and helped within this sort of profession, I feel like it's making a difference between for myself as individually, but also for the people that sit in the therapy room. So that's mine. That outer world, trying to save the outer world, I don't know, man. It's such a tough ask because the elitists are so ingrained. Like it's almost a mockery to us nation. They're almost laughing in their suits and ties. That World Cup, Giovanni Infantino, for example, I hated this World Cup. I hated it. I wasn't in tuned. I wasn't that bothered. I started hating it from Qatar 2022. The magic of the World Cup is gone. This World Cup, footballing wise as well, was awful to watch as well. I would say, the few nations that actually wanted, like the Cape Verdes and stuff like Ghana and whatnot, DR Congo, it gave me the best enjoyment, or 35 minutes, I can't remember, but until England scored, was one of the best times. Do you know what I mean? But they're feel good moments. They're feel good factors. It's not a moment to enjoy. We won't sit there and be like, you know what, that 2026 World Cup, the way I speak about when Spain won the Euros, or when Brazil won the World Cup, or when Germany won the World Cup, or 2018 World Cup when we saw Kylian Mbappe, do a mad thing. That's a moment that we can cherish and be like, do you remember that? We don't remember this World Cup. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But at the same time, I'm saying that to say that Giovanni Infantino guy was a money-making scheme. Americanize it once again. And America, what do they care about? It's money. And capitalizing what we already have to is fucking max. They'll squeeze out every fucking life juice out of it as well. And the World Cup came with controversies or controversial moments as well, with the Paraguayan Prime Minister or lady in Parliament or whatever it is, saying racist remarks. Donald Trump trying to overturn Balogun's red card, like all those type of things. The heat, the dynamic price and that World Cup done this time, yeah. The additional teams as well, the late kickoffs as well. Like it's so much of that's changed for a different type of audience. When your local guys, when your local people that really cared about the sport, really and truly really embedded what the history of what football is. Football has gone global to America. That's a bad thing. And people might say that it's discriminating or anything like that. No, it's just highlighting like we got differences, and differences are best embedded in certain parts of the culture, and and that's what it is. America football does not belong in America. You guys call it soccer. We would not ever. I don't think the UK will start adopting an NFL team in the UK because that's not embedded in our culture. We won't embed a sort of basketball. We've tried. Do you know what I mean? With the whole basketball type stuff like that, and you can find your basketball teams. And I know a friend that goes and watch basketball games and stuff like that. That's cool, and he likes that. That's no problemo. But it's not what it's like in America. But we won't adopt that, and that's okay. Keep it to the Americans, and that's fine. You love your basketball. You guys love your baseball. Here you got cricket, you got your football, you got your tennis, you got your Wimbledon, a sense of prestige that plays in the sort of British culture and stuff like that. And it's like what US you can talk about Cyril Williams and stuff like that. Of course, I understand. And it's not saying that Americans can't play soccer, because US, I do like some of the US players like the Tyler Adams and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's come through. Balogun, who could have played for America, Timothy Way. I don't know what I'm saying there. Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry. I went there. I went through a mess. All right then. I'm surprised that this video is lasting longer than I expected. How many minutes we're in? We're in 27 minutes. I'm uploading 27 minutes of content. Yeah, why not? I don't really care no more. I don't care to make my YouTube channel a bit flashy or anything like that. And people might be like, cut it in shorts and put it up, and I might do that. But at the same time, you guys need to start working on your attention span. Like, you need to watch like stuff like, a lot of people are saying, oh, my ADHD won't let me watch a whole video, guys, and all people speed up the video. That's concerning. All right, that is very concerning. Mind you, to be fair, I've got some books here that I have not finished reading, but more time I've listened to some of these books as opposed to read them. But obviously the comics are always going to be great to read. That's my thing. I read the comics. I made my kids watch Spider-Man Homecoming yesterday. They really enjoyed it. So yeah, talking about Spider-Man quickly, brand new day is coming out next week. I'm so excited. I was stressing that I wasn't going to be able to watch it because I have no job. But Mrs. came through as a Father's Day gift to say, yeah, I'll book you to watch Spider-Man brand new day. But as I wrap up this video, this once again, like, the future is very damning, I think, and I think people take note. But at the same time, I'm scared that what's even scarier, that us people sit down and talk about it, and that serves clicks, that serves views, like, and people are okay with that. And I hear that because I think what we've done is very sort of, it's a shame because it gives me a bit of Nietzsche. So we've gone very sort of nihilistic, very individualized as a, as a nation. We're not a nation. We're so divided, more so than ever. It's nice when you can find a community where you have like-minded people, or your people that are on the same sort of wavelengths. But it's small. It feels small. But as a nation, as people, we're at such different sense of the spectrum that people are now just happy to be like, if it helps me and my family, then that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best for me and my family, which is a shame, really. The Andy Berman has a big task to do with this nation. he has to give a sense of hope. But not only that, you give hope, but then you take action. Focus on education, focus on jobs, and then start and then build from there. When you get people into work and you get people into making sure that have good education, stop letting all these people buy these schools. Stop letting these schools become academies or these trusts. Stop doing that. And maybe there are some benefits into that as well, but let the government protect the state schools. Let education be once again the best thing that can happen for this nation, because we will need it. And eventually, what's happened as well, the middle class is evaporated, and you've got upper class and lower class. Your middle class is now on the cusp of the upper lower class, if you get my drift, all right? And there's been a divide, and there's been a divide, and the divide is still happening. You have to seal the gap. And I tell you now, you do that, and England will win the World Cup. I tell you that for free. If England is better as a nation, and we do better, we will win the World Cup. Just quickly on football. Football streaming is awful now. I think these football people that come on these channels now, I'm gonna say it. And by the way, I don't want to say stuff to be controversial. It's so jarring. Like, but I just my fault. This football channels are now like, if you've been watching a set person, I'm gonna say names. I have no problem. Like, for example, I watch Coppish, right? Or do you know what it is? First and foremost, football channels are more about the teams that the person supports. So if you're an Arsenal fan, you probably would watch a lot of your Troops or your Curtis Shaw, or your Lee Judges, or your Turkish as well, and so forth. And then if you're Liverpool, you got your Coppish. You can put Big Sixpence in there as well. You got Football with Ends, and you got Jamie Phillips TV. That's kind of sort of popping off as well, whatnot. Like, so you've got your channels, but more time you don't watch it because of the channel. You watch it for the personality type, right? So you watch these people for because of their personality, right? And they're sort of, it's not about their takes, because a lot of people, especially in the YouTube world, football YouTube world, everybody says the same sort of thing, or in a roundabout the same way. It's all the same sort of rhetoric, right? And then, but at the same time, it's a personality thing. It's like, do you like that person? Do you like watching them? Could you be happy to listen to them as well, right? And then you got your together, your panel shows, like the Big Six Bands, and then you've got your, the Big Six and stuff like that. You got Never File that pops up and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's gone so beyond where we throw words like technical ability. This person's done so. We're now dissing other people as well. We're cussing. Yeah, even the whole thing about rants at the moment, like where you got Stella, or whatever, Stella, or whatever his name is. Respect to him as well. I'm not just. By the way, I'm not disrespecting these guys. Where it's about so and so. You had it with football judge Mo with the Never Foul law, and then now you got rants and bans with the Stella law, and lead judges fighting this other kid. Like, it's just now, like, it's just gone so left. It's not about football. It's more about a personality type. It's more about liking a personality type that talks about a certain football. And mind you guys all say the same thing. And listen, let me tell you something now, yeah. Before I'm a content creator, oh, I hate that. Before I did YouTube and stuff, like, I was a fan. I was watching these guys, and I really enjoyed the panel shows and stuff like that when it became strictly about football. But right now, we've gone to a point where, because we're starving so well, these guys, I would say you're starving so much to get your headlines, to be the first person, to be the first one to have this take, because you remember, it's like, I remember a lot of these guys say almost the same sort of rhetoric. I told you so about this player. I told you about that a couple months ago. I was right about this. Oh, I'm gonna give a hot take to be edgy. Drew Bellingham ain't that great, but now Drew Bellingham scored goals at England. Oh, Drew Bellingham is great. Like, so it's and then now you've got that, what's his name? That Nick guy. To be fair, that Nick guy. To be fair, he's been one of the best guys that I've watched the content from. Like, he's tolerable. I can manage his sort of content, and to be fair, and I kind of watch him so he can gives me the rundown of all what's happening on all the other channels. It's mind games, but it kind of works out, to be fair. Like, because I don't want to sit down and watch these guys. No, I don't watch these type of stuff no more. It's not my thing no more, and that's okay. And that's not me saying that these man's channel are bad or anything like that at all. But you guys, it's just boring. It's one, you got one, and you got that one crazy fan that comes on and he's just going absolutely crazy. There's one guy, his mic is not really working and stuff like that. There's one guy that's saying this and that. You know, he's like, well, you know, Arsenal can win everything. It's like, oh, and and guess what? And to be fair, shout out to the YouTube creators as well, like the YouTube creators, like the Big Six Bands and the Never Fouls, because at the same time, Sky Sports now lap it up as well, and they say the same rhetoric as well. So you can go on Sky Sports now, and they are saying the same thing that you just heard on Never Foul, or you know somebody said on Never Foul, or somebody said on the Big Six, or like it's hilarious. So and and then Talksport will say something like this, and then and you know what I mean, and I think with football culture it works only because you can get such clickbaity things that happen. So, for example, Mbappe scores a hat trick. You can clickbait it. Mbappe is the best player in the world. Mbappe, if like for example, Elisa had 2 games, you can do a clickbaity video by saying the reason why Elisa would never make it to the top, and you know what I mean. And you can say that now because like, oh, it's my hot take now. It's my hot take now. And let's say Elisa doesn't do well in the next couple of years. Remember, I've been saying this from day one. Day one. I was like, oh gosh. I'll be honest with you. See, like when TV started became like trash TV, like you know, when you had that trash TV, it's just like you put stuff on in the background and stuff like that. Football content has become that. Like football, let me tell you now, football content for me, has been such a like is whatever. Like if I put Never Fail, it's just in the background, you know what I mean, just to make the filler noise. It's almost like white noise, you know what I mean. Um, the only and I think the panel stuff as well. Like I don't watch that much. I think I only watch specifically now just the people that talk about Liverpool. And even with Kopish, like I say, Kopish is the one that I would listen to more. And the Liverpool fans on that show. And I think I like Callum's sort of approach. Oh, I'm glazing, innit? Like people might say he's glazing. Anyways, I don't know. But yeah, I like his sort of approach. Just calmer. It's just not too much noise. So, you know, so I already got kids that just shout left, right, and center. If I just hear, if I'm, and plus I got my headphones, so if I'm just here, I'm like, oh no, 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 we need to stop. And to be fair, I'll give you someone, and outside of that, who I watch is Matisse. He's a Chelsea fan. I do tend to like Matisse's sort of. I don't really watch his branching out that much, but I do watch his yeah, I do watch Matisse. Rants and Bants is just a talk of the town at the moment, and I find that hilarious. That's more entertainment. That, if anything, at the moment, I'm getting giddy with it, but after a while, it dies down. I have nothing personal to rants or whatever, but like, yeah, that is hilarious. But that's at the same time because of it, funny enough, because with rants, like I've always kind of tuned into his content, and weirdly enough as well, like yeah, I don't know because the narrative has been brought up as well before, like about his stupid takes. There are moments where he does say takes that will kind of like, oh, okay, fair enough. But at the same time, yes, he has horrible. These takes are horrible. But yeah, um, so the football content, and but mind you, I'll give you this though. Mind you, all the YouTube, everything on YouTube is absolutely appalling. Like everything on YouTube is just appalling. Like that YouTube is awful right now. I've tried to, and then bear in mind, guys, as well. I have 2 YouTube accounts where I have YouTube where it's all my, let's say, football stuff. Let's say I might tune into like all my commentary on movies and stuff like that, and bit of video essays. And then on my other YouTube channel, it's strictly I put no football. The algorithm works to a point where it's just all my psychology stuff, all my therapy stuff. But even when you click on those, when I might listen to, let's say, Carl Jung and archetypes, it's fucking AI. It's fucking AI that's telling me this. It's like who's and you know what's funny? There's people that put out videos and they say not AI. AI needs to get the fuck out of it, right? Or AI needs to be in places. Like, for example, when I was doing my 2 week aviation course, they were saying how they use AI to help manage the plane or help the plane co-pilot and stuff like something like that. It's like, okay, that's AI best served, or get AI to flush the toilet for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, AI flush toilet. I don't know, something like more creative like that. But then I saw a meme on Twitter, like not a meme, but like I saw Drew Bellingham and Jed Spencer kissing. Like, is this what we use on our water for? Uh, it's dumb. But anyways, YouTube is a mess, but like I said, I hope these guys are getting their money. They're getting to their piece. Alright, but I can imagine money on YouTube is very tight because it's oversaturated, and everyone has these YouTube accounts and stuff like that. I'm all for like a sense of like a pipeline of like you can't just upload on YouTube. I'm all for that, by the way. I'm all for that. Like, yeah, there should be. You have to have credentials to start doing YouTube because you can't get free speech. We need to start managing free speech because there's some people who's just like you better keep your mouth just quiet. And I could be one of them, guys. I could be one of them. I could be one. If they told me, yeah, your thing, yeah, keep quiet, just do your own thing in your little corner. I'm like, I can't bet. If it means that other people can do the same, because yeah, so there's some people that I think, yeah, yeah, this ain't it, car. But yeah, but the people like Rhapsody and stuff like that that do like these voiceovers over like Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that, or X-Men 97. I fuck with that. That's YouTube I can get behind. Um, I still like my psychological videos as well, breakdown. But you guys have done that rise and fall of certain people, the rise and fall of Michael Ward, or the rise and fall and rise again of Edward Norton or Brad Pitt, or those videos are awful now, man. They're just horrible. It's just, once again, I think is another place where people just shame and guilt shame people. And they try to say in a nice way, like, we're not here to shame people, or we're not here, I'm just talking about, their experience. It's like, no, just shut up. Why Disney failed John Boyega. As much as it's interesting and stuff like that, but I just think, once again, can we just go back to watching cartoons on TV? Wake up in the morning and watch cartoons. I mean, watching X-Men 97 gives me such a relief of just watching cartoons. Like, I'm watching X-Men 97 from the beginning again. Not again, sorry, from the beginning. The original series. So I'm watching that and I'm just like, oh, but bring back cartoons, bring back very good shows, bring back TV. That's what it is. Like, and then bringing back TV means start investing into production. There are creative people out there that, like, I'm telling you TikTok editors right now that edit these type of things from your little CapCuts and stuff like that, which some of you guys are doing it for free, in sense where, like, you're using a free version of CapCut and your guys pulling out some great editing stuff. You guys need to set up a little branch. Like, your studio should put some money to, instead of Warner Brothers trying to buy Netflix for how much £1 billion, or Netflix trying to, no, other way around, sorry, Netflix trying to buy someone for £1 billion. Put money into your VFX artists, get indie actors, make up a story that is really cool. Like when we had shows like Chewing Gum, when you had shows like Shameless, like when you had shows like that, like, I'm telling you, you can still have that. You can modernize. There's creative people out there that can shoot films, that can direct, that are script writers and stuff like that. Like, I have a good friend that she went to Oxford to study, or Cambridge to study doctor, and then she left that and does script writing. She done a theatre show, like she done a play. So, like, I'm telling you, bro, there are creative people out there, and there's people that want to be creative. Just put your money to, and look, before I finish, corporation people, look, if you put your money towards, like, setting up let's say Netflix, say BFI, yeah, the British Film Festival, the BFI, you know what I mean, or for example, like, you know what I mean, and they put money towards that, and they say, we've got this lot of money, BFI go, or whatever, like like these small places that say, okay, we've got this money, we're gonna pinch, like, Monster's acting, right? And I'm pretty sure he does adverts and stuff like that. You might have seen him around. He does Sky Sports, a bit of celebrity, but you pinch him, he wants him, he gets an actor. You get a group of people, you pay them well, pay good stuff, and you pitch it to Channel 4, right? Voila, boom. And guess what? When Netflix tell you do a season 2, be like, no, sometimes leave it as season 1. Do you know why? Because Todd Phillips came out and said he wanted to do the Joker once. Joaquin Phoenix only wanted to do a one-time film, but no, they said, you made so much money, Todd Phillips, you gotta make us another one. And he done, was it Joker Fella de More? I don't know, I can't remember. It fucking bombed. And do you know what I believe Todd Phillips done? He said, fuck you to Warner Brothers, to say, yeah, you guys forced me to make a second film, and I guys told you I didn't want to do that. But the Joker film, standalone film, was a great film. It's a great film, right? And it's a standalone film. You guys say, that's it. But you guys stop being greedy. Unless the people that pitch an idea to you guys say we can do 3 seasons of these films, and you people that you go on YouTube to trash shows and films before they come out, stop doing that. You need to get your YouTube, get a real life job. Oh, how can you get a job with the job market shit? This is why it's so jarring. It's forcing people to be YouTuber, footballers, rappers. And you guys that are rapping thinking that you're still on about this life, stop that. The rhetoric is done. Did these man try to say to you guys? The older generation told you guys with that gang banging thing, all doing that lifestyle, killing other brothers and sisters like that. We ain't. There's no need for that. Go to therapy. Even therapy places are closing down. Oh gosh. UK Nation, sort yourself out. How about that? Just sort yourself out. Just focus on education and jobs, and then we'll work from there. But yeah.